Uh-huh. There it is. There it is. There it is. What's going on, world? What's going on, world? Listen, man. Was that the lighting? Hold on. It just looked hazy. I might be tripping. It just looked kind of hazy up top. It just looked kind of hazy. What's going on, world? Don't fuck all that right now, man. Listen. The Truancy Hour. 234. TTH 234. The Truancy Hour? Let's do this. TTH 234. 234. All right. Truancy Hour 234. I want to check the lighting on there, check the glare on the whiteboard. We are kind of on the glare. Damn. We're right on the glare. You know, it's funny. I wrote it lower a while ago for the last video. Charged up my phone in between then. I was over here making a couple calls and texts, you know what I'm saying, reaching out. But yeah, here we are, man. Here we are. Back at it. We're going to see how much time we got on the clock. You know, I'm actually going to limit my time a little bit because the tricky thing is this. I did about 2 sound checks before this one, but I have, excuse me, 5 to 6 gigs to spare in terms of storage space. Now, with that being said, these videos, when they start reaching closer to about 50 minutes a piece, I get about 4.1 gigs. So I'm like, okay, let me be mindful about keeping it within a 40-50 minute range because for whatever reason, I'm running out of space. I only have enough space to do about 12 to 15 gigs worth of videos. It's interesting. I did about 4 videos yesterday when I was doing the 30 minutes a piece, going about 30 minutes a piece, you know? But yeah, man, there it is. There it is. That's what I wanted to kind of address. So we'll see how I do with time right now. We'll see if I can utilize time and speak in a timely and fast manner. I have things in the back of my mind that I want to possibly accomplish before the day ends and hopefully before I run out of time here. If anything, I might have to run over to it's actually a good thing that I'm like only doing about 3 hours or so. You know, I might have to probably just delete a couple apps on my phone just to make some space. I mean, it's not really necessary, but to me it is. You know, I want to just keep creating. Some days I have time like this. I want to keep creating, and we'll get into those topics in a second. This is the Truancy Hour 234. That means we have 34 university mindsets, trying to get to at least 52. We're at 34 university mindsets. You know, let's talk about that a little bit. You know, let's talk about people who, you know, whether or not they go to colleges, universities, community colleges, technical colleges, vocational institutes, culinary schools, and schools for the arts. All the if, ands, in betweens, and, you know, all those things, right? People have access to these places. Some people go to these places and they'll go there for a higher education, get a certification, get a degree, get a higher wage. They'll start placing a value on themselves. Matter of fact, from the beginning that they had those goals set, they have this value system that they aren't valuable until they reach those goals. And there's nothing wrong with reaching goals, but you also have to have a value for your own life, a value for your own existence while you're on the road to these goals. You can't define yourself based off of the finish line. You understand? You have to recognize and remember who you are along the journey and during the journey, right? You have to. It's very important that you do, if anything. Um, the reason why I bring this up is that people will sit there, they'll get these certifications and degrees, they'll get these higher wages, they'll finally get the money that gets them the better cars, the better clothes. You know what I mean? The things that make them feel better about themselves. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you're able to take care of your family, you should feel great about that. There's nothing wrong with taking care of people, take care of things financially, and making sure that the heat is on, the water is running, the electricity is on. Nothing wrong with doing that stuff and feeling great about it. It's actually a good thing to do. That's actually a really great thing to do. I would never go against that. My thing is this, man. Personally, with each individual, you understand the degrees of things in your life that you have withstood, handled, and survived. You understand? You have withstood, handled, and survived certain things in life. There's different degrees of things, whether they're violent things, they're mentally breaking things, you know what I'm saying? Things that are supposedly like they're meant to mentally break you down. Some things that kill your spirit. You know what I mean? Certain people, if not certain practices, meant to kill your spirit. And here you are still alive to this day. Whether you feel broken or not, you are still alive to this day. You went through a degree of things. And once you start to recognize those things from a positive perspective, from a very positive perspective, not necessarily egotistical, but just from a positive, just really sitting down and analyzing, self analyzing this stuff. Once you really start to do that, you start to realize that there's a threshold and another degree of things that you will no longer tolerate. There's some bullshit. There's a place where you draw the line, like right here, the buck stops here. You're like, nope, no more of this shit, no more of that. So there's a degree of things that you've went through, past, present, future. There's also a degree of things that you will no longer tolerate. There's a threshold of things where you're like, no, it stops right there, or you learn when to walk away from certain things. It all depends, right? Now, because you start having this analysis, you can start certifying yourself as a human being that probably deserves the love and respect that you either haven't received or deserves a level of love and respect that you think you deserve, basically. Excuse me. So there's no need to constantly place a value on a grading system. There's nothing wrong with a certification. There's nothing wrong with a degree if it gets you that job. Because you also want, like I said, if you were ever to go under the knife, you'd want someone who's certified in anesthesiology or just anesthesia in general, whether it's an anesthesia tech or an actual anesthesiologist, even an assistant, right? You'd want an actual orthodontist, if not a dental assistant, to work on your body, to work on your anatomy. You'd want someone who is certified. You want someone with a specific degree for the specific appointment you're going to. You'd want that. But what I'm saying is, along the way, we lose value of the human beings that we are. What our souls want, what our souls hunger for, what our souls desire, what our souls just simply need to feel alive. We're existing in these bodies that we may or may not feel insecure about. We feel insecure about these bodies here because it's just like, hey, man, this is the one that we're given. This is the anatomy that we're given. We're just given this, man. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing we could really do about it. Whether we get profile discriminated, whether we get away with shit, whether we have all the privileges, you know how that goes. You have to take advantage of your assets. You have to learn to love your deficits. It's very important. Start pouring in the love and respect into yourself that you wish to receive from people. A big thing about stocks and dividends is that you'll sit there, you'll spend $100 on a certain stock. You might get $100 worth of something. Some stocks are worth $100. Some are worth more. Some are worth a little less. So you might have one share, one and a half, two shares. You might even have a fraction of a share, depending on what that is. And people get mad about the little dividends that they get. A dividend is because you own something, you get a share for the amount that you own. Some people get mad at the 10 cents that they get. Some people get mad at the quarters that they get. Some people get mad at the $1.20 that they get. I'm just happy to get something. I'm happy that I put something in, even if it was a large amount, and I got something back. I don't care if it's small. That's the type of person I am. I try my best to be grateful. Sometimes I look at the small amounts. I'm like, listen, we could do better. Let's do the math. Let's do the knowledge. Let's do the history. Let's find out some things where we can put our money at and get a little better, whatever. But I've sold everything. I basically sold everything except for my IRA. My IRA is going strong. The Roth IRA that I personally use, it's going pretty strong. But like everything else, I've more or less sold. These were things that were yielding me about $100 at least every 3 months. I was on track. I cashed out most of that stuff just for some mental clarity, mental health, taking care of myself. Also, the one before that, I cashed out 5 figures just to bury my mom properly. Money is just money. It's an exchange. There was a chase to get that amount, to get it situated, and just to pay things off within a week or 2 weeks, just to make sure all the payments were in place. There was an energy there. It was almost like I was trying to buy her life back. There was an energy in the 5 month span where I quit my job and I was like, listen, we're going to try to, sell stocks here and there and just cash out and take the money and just take care of myself throughout the weeks like I'm getting paid my last job, just re-emulate that. And I needed that time to really calm myself down a bit, realize the amount of grief and energy I was, holding. I still need to work though, and I'm happy that my new job allows me to do about 2 to 3 days per week, because the other job I was 2 to 3 days per week, but I kept getting overtime 5 days a week with extra hours on top. And when we needed the extra hours to do extra work, we weren't allotted the time. It just wasn't healthy. Now I have a good balance of health. Now I just have to take care of myself. Now I have to, while I'm in good health and good mental, just apply myself and put the energy out here forward into the universe. Speak to you guys about the university mindset, because a lot of people don't have access. A lot of people don't have to access to university spaces and places like such. When I'm here, I get a little, what I'm saying, I get a sense of peace, wisdom, quiet, if you will, and I impart that same wisdom publicly and through the camera here. Put this out there in the universe. Hopefully this creates a digital footprint, if not something that lasts for a long amount of time where it can be revisited, retouched on, re-listened to. And hopefully it actually works. Hopefully it hits people in the right way. It applies to people that it needs to reach, if that makes sense. Hopefully, right? That's all I can do is hope. Yeah, man. Here we go. On the same topic, on the similar topics, man. Let's get into it. Hold on, what's my time at? We're doing good on time. We're doing great on time. First note we got here, man. Well, excuse me. In bold and all caps. How important is money? How important is money? That's the simple statement there. How important is money? The first note I wrote underneath it is figuring out life at early stages or later stages. I think simply I wrote figuring life out at early and later stages. Some people figuring it out early. Some people figure it out later. Some people are kind of like me, where they start to figure it out. Things start to make sense. Things start to translate. The practices get applied. You do all these things just to find out, like, yeah, I'm doing all this, but I still feel a little empty on the side. I'm doing all this, but I'm still grieving the friends that are kind of just, if not dead and gone, they just ain't around no more. I'm grieving the family members passing away. Like, I made all this money just to kind of move things forward and be prepared for the future, only just to kind of like, damn, I'm missing out on certain situations, scenarios, places, spaces, graduations, all that stuff. Like, I'm missing out on life experiences that I should be experiencing with people because I wanted to chase the bag. I'm over here chasing the bag. I'm putting the bag in proper investments. I'm doing everything correctly, but I'm not really living my life and I'm not really feeling the love. So how important is money if it's taking you away from certain things? How important is the money if you're being taken away from certain things, but you are trying to plan for the future so that people have more time and energy to put into those things? Does that make sense? I wanted to be that rock for people. Nobody's seen the vision because everyone wants to live in the moment, but also other people have enough money and privilege to kind of just fall back on each other, become intoxicated. I was in that same boat. I like to fall back on each other too, get intoxicated. It took my mom passing to realize, damn, we got this many different sections and branches of the family, but can't nobody really donate money to each other like that. They might do it on the low. I might not see it, but I'm over here handling the money and the payments, and I'm only dealing with my brother and my cousin. My brother and my cousin, the only people that came to my aid. And on my cousin, when I say my cousin, like on his side, it was my cousin and my aunt. So my cousin and his mom. For my brothers, my brother and his wife. So I thought about it. It was like, you got like at least 4 to 5 people pulling money together. You know what I'm saying? And I'm over here just, throwing up 5 figures at a time, making that happen. And that hurt me because I realized, like, damn, all these other people that knew my mom way better or whatever, especially on my side of the family, either they didn't show up to the funeral or they didn't have much to give me. And that's fine. I was like, damn, I'm not really asking for nothing. But to think about that, I'm like, damn, if that ever happened in the future to any other future relatives, I want to be able to throw $1,000 here and there. So that just got me thinking. I was like, I'm not asking for anything, but all I'm saying is, like, I realized, as much as I know about stocks and all this investment stuff, they always were wondering, like, how did you handle all the payments by yourself? It's like, we're supposed to be taking care of you. You're the young one. I'm the youngest of all my cousins. They want to take care of me. And he's like, yeah, you can't be paying for everything. We want to take care of you. I was like, you got to move faster then. You want to take care of it, take care of it. I'm not stopping nobody from taking care of nothing. But if you ain't moving fast enough, I'm swiping my card, I'm tap paying. I'm getting that little tap pay, whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? I'll be moving. Motherfuckers say that shit, but they can't deliver. It's like, hey, man, the thing about it is, if everybody does a little bit, no one has to do a lot, man. If you got multiple branches of your family and everybody could throw in $1,000 for a funeral or $1,000 for somebody's surgery or something like that, you can make it happen. But a lot of people don't want to think that way. We'd rather think in the moment about our momentary bullshit, or we'd rather get intoxicated and fuck around. And it's like, here I was really hurt because I knew a lot about financial stuff. I was one of the first people, at least within my household, that was like, legit financially literate. Everyone else kind of just works and saves money. There's nothing wrong with working and saving money, but I was trying to take it to the next level and in the 10th degree after that, studying and applying myself because I had the time and energy. I was under someone's roof that was taking care of me. They're like, get your shit together. Don't worry about this. We'll take care of it for you. Get your shit together. We'll always make sure there's a roof over your head. We'll make sure you're always fed. We'll take care. And I took advantage of that situation by taking the money I made and just depositing $200 a week, investing $200 a week. What's 200 times 52? 10,400. So we get to 5-figure investments within a year. People don't want to think that way. You could do it with people. Most people can only afford about $25 to $50. If you can do $50 a week and you do it with 4 other people, you can get to 10,000. If you did 25 and you did it with 7 other people, that's 8 people total, then you would have 10,000. I'm not here to count anybody's pockets. I'm here to help it. People thought I was counting pockets because when they start hearing money and numbers, they start getting personal. They start getting offended and shit. How important is money? It's very important to me because I never fucking had it. We had each other. That was great. We were surviving off the love of each other in a food bank across the street. We survived living like that. All these other branches of family were doing all right. A lot more literate because, my mom, she didn't know how to read or write. She wasn't literate at all. All these other people, financially literate. A lot of other people, literate in general. There's a level of pride in my household. So I guess when some people were trying to throw them a bone, they didn't want to take it. I get that. I understand it. Don't get me wrong. I get that. On the other hand, you got to look at it like this, man. It's just like, well, if we're talking about pulling each other up from the bootstraps, it's just like, damn, I'm trying to pay people back for the times they looked out for me. And they wanted to shit on me like I was saying something wrong. I was like, nah, bro. This is a level of financial literacy I was trying to teach people. Show them because I was making it happen. I had the receipts to show. People thought I was trying to flex and brag. I was like, no, this ain't no flexing and bragging. I don't give a fuck. I'm paying for the meal because I want everyone to eat. We can afford to do this shit. I took the same people in my household. I took them out to eat all the time. I was like, yeah, it was cool that we're cooking at the house, but then when's the last time we really enjoyed ourselves? We haven't did that since we were kids, when everybody had a job, everybody was working, and everybody was able-bodied. Nobody was in and out the hospital and shit. And I wanted to provide the same shit to people who are less fucking grateful. And I'll never do that shit again. How important is money, man? People start figuring out shit at later or early stages in life. I'll start recognizing whether it's my friends or my other family members. It's like they've never necessarily had 2 people in their household that they came up with. And hear me out when I'm saying this. I was raised by mom, dad, grandpa. All 3 of them constantly getting hospitalized from the time I was a baby to like a teenager. Even up to my 20s, constantly getting hospitalized. People that should have been taking care of me or raising me, I'm over here looking out for. You understand? I don't want to say I was raising them. That's not the right terminology. But what I'm saying is they were supposed to be raising me, but they were gone. They were either in the hospital or they were bedridden, and I was supposed to be taking care of them. I'm a little kid running back and forth and bringing food and shit. I'm over here. Like I said, my mom would always, she was bedridden. She was stuck living on the couch for a minute. She was sleeping on the couch. I never forget this shit. Sleeping on the couch, she had to get up. We had a portable toilet kind of thing in the living room. She used to shit and piss in this fucking bucket. And as a little kid, I used to walk down the stairs and throw it down the drain, throw it down the other toilet. I don't know no other kids doing that shit for their family members. This is your mom. This is me witnessing my mom, someone who's supposed to be raising me. She did a great job raising me. Look how it turned out. I turned out as a great person. She did a great fucking job. I hope she's proud of me. I don't fucking know. I hope she's fucking proud of me. I'd be joking around with her too much, so she probably didn't even know like what the truth was. That's the other thing, bro. Because she'd be wondering like, someday she'd be like, "Why are you home right now? Why aren't you at work?" I'm like, "Damn, I got fired. I said, fuck that job. I'm over here just making shit up." And she'd be getting mad because she thought I was telling the truth. But I'd be going to work damn near every day, every week. You know what I'm saying? She just didn't know. But that shit funny. I just know. Ooh, hopefully she's proud of me, man, because I'm proud of how she raised me. Mama ain't raised no fucking bitch. Mama didn't raise no fucking bitch. A lot of y'all, I ain't gonna tell the truth right now, man. A lot of y'all couldn't stomach the shit that I grew up with, man. Rats running all up into the house and shit. Mom over here pissing and shitting in the fucking living room, whether it hits the floor or not. You gotta clean that shit up. Imagine cleaning your own mom's shit. Imagine having to dump your own mom's shit and piss down the fucking toilets downstairs where the rats is running around and shit. Imagine having to protect your mom walking down the street when you're a little kid, little baby. It's like, these motherfuckers be crashing out here. We weren't using the word crash out, but we just knew that they was tripping. Some of these people tripping, they spazzing, and I'm ready to fight and kill anybody. Can't nobody go through that shit the way I did, bruh. So I got every right to talk about this financial shit because we came from that situation. A mom who couldn't read or write. Grandpa was in and out the hospital. His whole left side paralyzed. He's dragging his whole body with his power of his right side. He mowed the lawn with the whole power of his right side so we don't have to do shit, so we could focus on studying and shit. Two handicapped people in the house that we had to fucking bury. A lot of people, whether they're families and friends, they couldn't even tell you about two people in the household that they grew up with that were supposed to be raising them that they had to look after. Two people older than them in the household that were older than them that should have been raising them, but they had to look after. A lot of people can't tell you that story. Then you have to fucking bury them. A lot of people can't tell you that shit. You understand? And this violent ass neighborhood where we have robberies every fucking day, and you staying on point. We making friends and enemies every day. Like, what we doing? I don't care if these motherfuckers live a block down the street and they're keeping an eye on the house. We keeping an eye on you because you walking through these fucking windows, you getting your head blasted, you getting something impaled in your fucking chest. That's how I grew up. That's how the fuck I grew up, on point and ready. And at the same time, I'm over here mastering financial shit. Motherfuckers don't want to listen to me. It's like, y'all bullshitting. You ain't been through that shit yet. That's why that shit haunts me. I'll never let off the gas. I'm never letting off the fucking gas. We gotta go for it. You understand? So whether you see me here making this content, whether it lasts right now or into the future, just understand that this is where that comes from. That fucking background. Or it's like, damn, we ain't got this shit right now. We going up the street, literally a block up. Thank God that shit was a block up. Fucking food bank where you just get some free food. We ain't expired shit. We don't give a fuck. We saving money. There's no excuses. And like I said, my dad was over here being a breadwinner for a whole household where nobody's working. I'm not old enough to work. You understand? I'm like 11, 12 years old witnessing all this shit. Mom's out of work. She's forced to retire. She's physically disabled. Grandpa's been physically disabled. They're all just getting like little checks, retirement checks here and there. My dad's just forced to work, be the breadwinner. He's working his thing to the bone gristle. This motherfucker gets hospitalized for like 3 to 5 months. I'm thinking he's gonna die. Mom and dad are in the hospital. I'm forced to learn how to cook and do all my clothes and shit. A lot of kids can't even talk about that. A lot of people have been taken care of and pampered for a long time. I'm haunted by this shit. I can't let it go. So I have to keep my foot on the gas, get the finances right, or either get myself out the fucking country because everybody want to fucking bullshit here. People want to kill each other like funerals don't cost money. Motherfuckers be taking lives like funerals don't cost money. You want me to exist around this shit peacefully? It's real hard. I'm on warrior time every day. That's my issue. I'm good with the chaos. I love being around this shit. I've been around the country, my guy. I've been around the country. I done seen some shit. I've been spots in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, where it got real crazy. I'm like, damn, I shouldn't be sitting right here, but I'm just chilling at the bus stop. Motherfuckers is tripping around me. I'm like, damn, I mean, this ain't Chicago, but goddamn, this shit tripping right here. I'm in Tampa. I'm in goddamn Tampa, Florida. We rolling through the west side. We downtown. We in Ybor City. We around all the bullshit. I'm saying we like it's multiple people. It's really me, one deep. That shit crazy as hell. That shit crazy as hell. But I'm around this shit like that's nothing to me. I was like, damn, this feel like I'm back home in the 2000s, how it used to be when I grew up. I'm mobbing through the Bronx trying to buy some fitted caps for me and my cousin. Dolo, I'm by myself through the Bronx. Walking through Manhattan in the back streets where motherfuckers be hitting licks and putting burners on people, dipping back to Times Square. We in them spots, man. And that shit was cool. I'm not going to act like I'm from the Marias. I'm not going to pretend like I'm from the Marias. I'm from the Central District, bro. I'm from over here. I'm from what this bullshit is. Motherfuckers taking their shit for granted, taking their lives for granted. I'm from that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That West Coast ignorance. That's what we on. That West Coast ignorance. That's what we on. But like I said, I'm haunted by that shit. So how important is money, man? When you start learning about shit later or early, man, I've been knew that we were struggling. I've been knew I wanted to do something about it. And when I started being able to get something about it, I never let off the gas. I slowed up right now. I'm starting to feather right now. I'm like, hey, man, you doing all this money chasing. You doing all this stuff to keep things righteous and bury people the right way and take care of the mental health and take care of the physical health and take care of just eating right. But all of a sudden, man, you got to really just start living life, dialing back and enjoying shit a little more. That's the tricky part. Where's the balance here? Where's the balance here? Where does the balance go? This is where it gets tricky. My next note is just utilizing free time and hours throughout the day. Utilizing free time and hours throughout the day. Man, my dad used to work fucking 8 hours a day type shit, man. Sometimes 10, sometimes 12. This dude would go to work and I was like, his job is going to work. My job, I'm not going to be sitting around here playing video games and shit. Fuck that. I'm going to the gym because I'm trying to be somebody. Yeah, my dad be working like how many hours a day? I'm like, damn, what am I going to do? Shit, we going to write. We going to make up for time. We going to get the arts right. We're going to get all the creations right. We're going to put the music out. Never wasting no time, not wasting no money. We got this many hours of the day. Put something out there. Publish something. $50 for the publishing, $100 for the publishing. Do the paperwork right. Wait a couple days, get that email. Start uploading the shit. Just create. Put the money into the program. Put the money into the fucking equipment. Start creating. Put the money into the boom microphone. Buy the phone. Buy the new camera. Buy the notepad. Just spend the $5 on coffee. Tip $1. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck we doing? Utilize the time throughout the day, man. You ain't got time to waste because people can drop any moment. I've seen it too much. You can drop any moment. What you gonna leave behind? You're gonna leave behind the debt and some bullshit. I don't be giving a fuck about debt. I'm like, man, if I die, that debt just gonna be whatever. Fuck that. Leave that shit right there. Leave that shit right there. These motherfuckers be acting like somebody's supposed to pay them back. You gave me the free money. I'm gonna use that shit. I ain't trying to be funny. I'm just saying, when you have credit cards and other shit, utilize that shit. You're giving time and money, utilize that shit. People want to be mindful because you want to build credit. Cool. That's like your first year. But really lock in with that shit, bro. They're giving you free money, use it. Motherfuckers be spending their credit card on alcohol and stupid ass shit. Like, fuck that. I'm about to just go here and I'm about to, you trying to get all these drinks? Yeah, I used to do that shit and I used to pay it off. It depends how, you just got to be smart about it. That's all it is, man. Utilizing free time. That's all it is, man. You see this right here? This is a day off. Most people spend that time laying in bed waiting for something to happen. Like, damn, I'm going to be laying in bed. Let's see what they're talking about. Somebody call me. We're going to have fun today. We're going to do some dumb shit. Somebody's going to bring a drink. That's all we need for the day. And then you continue the cycle of bullshit. But I'm like, if I stay on this, bro, I've been doing this for how many weeks? You've been seeing me here for how many weeks now? Check the fucking dates. Check the dates of the Truancy Hour 201, 202, 210, 211, whatever. 220s. Check all that shit. See how long I've been locking in every week, just coming in places like this. Like I said, university spaces, places, campuses, getting my peace of mind, and I'm utilizing it and also putting it forward. Don't tell me you can't utilize that energy and time of the day to do the same thing, if not something similar. I'm optimizing everything. And I get my 6 to 8 hours of rest because, I'm monitoring my times where I'm sleeping and shit. I'm like, yeah, I can sleep in today. Fuck it. Oh, we slept around 2 o'clock because we had the cigar and the coffee. Boom. Fuck it. We got time. Utilize it. If you got time, utilize it, man. Motherfuckers always got 30 minutes in their day that they can spare. Record something. 30 minutes in your day. Do some push-ups, squat, wall sit, do a plank. Take care of yourself, man. Take care of yourself and then get back to the money. But you got to take care of yourself if you're on the grind. Just take care of yourself, man. Check this out, man. Making friends or enemies. Making friends or enemies, man. You'd be surprised, man. Once you really start locking in with yourself, you really start being true about yourself, still being honest about yourself. You understand? Once you really start locking in on that shit, some of these friends are going to end up really being enemies. Some people that really was listening to you, they really could only be friends with you when you're at your lowest. Only when you're at your lowest. Let me talk about the second part real quick. Making money, then laying low or hiding in plain sight. Making money, then laying low or hiding in plain sight. See, here's where it gets tricky. Let's dance around with both of these concepts real quick. A lot of people already have friends. A lot of people are making friends. The moment you start speaking a little bit about money and shit, the friendships start to kind of whatever. Once you start paying for people's shit, people act like they're a little less than themselves. They feel less valuable about themselves. They don't feel good about themselves because they're being taken care of. I'm like, who cares about that shit? We friends. That's my thing. But people really start feeling a way about themselves. I used to feel a way about that shit, man. I used to hate that shit when my cousins would always take care of me, but they loved me. I used to hate that when my friends would pay for my meals and take care of me, but they loved me. I was like, man, I can't wait to pay y'all back. I can't wait for that shit. I can't wait to come up to somehow, some way and just pay y'all back. And I'll pay for people's shit, bro. I don't give a fuck. I'll do it again in a heartbeat. I don't care if I got my money or if I got to use the credit card money. I'm like, I'll pay for these motherfuckers shit forever, bro. They took care of me when we was broke and feeling bad about ourselves. You know what I mean? You'd be surprised though, man. Once you start coming up, people are like, damn, this is where it get tricky, man. This is where you might want to consider laying low or hiding in plain sight. You're gonna find out who your real friends are one way or another. One way or another, you're gonna find out who your friends are, whether you're trying to put yourself out there or whether you're trying to hide out. You're gonna find out either way. Because some people really only value you when you're someone that they can take care of. Once you start taking care of shit, some people start getting all a little resentful and shit. It's kind of weird. I'm like, damn. I was like, this, I'm just trying to pay y'all back for everything, man. I never forgot none of that shit. And I know people will always have the conversation. Yeah, I do that because I love you. I do that because we family. I do that because we friends. I do that because whoop, whoop, wop, wop, insert whatever. You know what I'm saying? Insert whatever. I understand. Like, I get it. Like, I'm not paying somebody back because, like, and they remind me too. They let me know, like, hey, man, I never let you know that you owe me anything, because I know, but I always felt that way. So let me do for you the way that you would have did for me. You would have just acted and did for me. Let me act and just do for you. You start to learn, man. You start to learn who sits there and values you based off the fact that, like, damn, we're so used to you being the brokest motherfucker. We're so used to you being the person with the lowest self-esteem. We're so used to you being the person that needed the most help, and we can't do none of that for you anymore. All of a sudden, you're a little less valuable to them. They want to be in the position to do for you. You know what I mean? Be careful of that shit. I thought about this sometimes, man. You know, a lot of young men, man, we get used as muscle. A lot of times you'll have people in your life that just, they want you to help you. Hey, man, can you help me move? I'm moving out of this apartment. I'm moving out of this house. Can you help me move some stuff, some bookshelves, some bedding, some books and shit, DVDs? You know what I'm saying? Little not countertops, but you know, the little um, tables and the goddamn I don't know what the cold thing is where the games and the TV stands on top of. Just things like that. Bring, you know, help me move the TVs and all that stuff. Just helping people move stuff from one house to the next. And, you know, they pay you with a meal, they take care of you, whatever. But a lot of times when you start getting a little better and you need the help too, sometimes they're either there to help you or they're not. It's really weird, man. It's like, damn, we're supposed to be looking out for each other, but it's just like, damn, when you're ready to do some shit for yourself, all of a sudden it's like, what's this about? I said, let me do that shit for me, but ain't nobody gonna look out for you, bro. You gotta be careful with the money sometimes. I'm not saying the money creates the perception. I think it's just a perception of who you always been. Some people can't shake the fact that you can come up. This forces people to lay low. That's the thing. Some people get forced to lay low. Some people get forced to hide in plain sight because they go through these things. Don't let none of that shit force you, man. You make the decision. Are you going to be someone that's going to be hiding in plain sight or just living, you know, laying low? Or are you going to be someone that's going to humbly whatever? You monitor them friends and enemies, man. Some people really try to be. It be the people who try to be the most friendly. People coming out the woodwork. You know what they're trying to do. They need something. I had a friend the other day reach out to me, and it was really interesting, man. I ain't talked to this dude in a while. He been going through some emotional shit, and it's almost like when the moment presented itself, he couldn't wait to ask me for, you know, I'm gonna say he asked me for money, but he asked me for an opportunity where he could be like a, what's it called? Oh, I damn, if you pay me, I could teach you like a lesson or something like that, right? If you pay me, I could teach you how to do this thing. And I was like, yo, you could just teach me how to do the thing. You wouldn't have to do all that. But it was almost like he buttered up the conversation just to be like, hey, actually, I'm doing this thing, man. You know, blah, blah, blah. And I understand. I respect the transaction. I respect the business. But I was like, man, that all that business talk had nothing to do with all the buttering up conversations and shit that we were having earlier. So you'll just catch funny shit like that. You be catching that shit, bro. Be careful with that. My bad. I'm over here monitoring the time too. This is kind of along the lines of manifestation, but also just people plainly speak in this way as well. But this is my final note. All I said was speaking on earning money in order to relax in the future and live how I want to. Speaking on earning money in order to relax in the future and live how I want to. That's damn near everyone's goal. That's damn near everyone's goal. Some people, you already know, you're going to have some people in the chat like, hey, my goal. A lot of the people, man, listen, man, if your parents took care of you up all the way up until this point, man, there's not much I can really talk to you about. There's not much we can conversate about. I won't be talking to people like that for too long, man, because it's just like, yeah, you've had less responsibilities than someone who was always responsible for you in your life. And then people will tell you that money don't matter. Don't get me wrong. Believe me, when I didn't have no money, money didn't matter. It's literally the energetic transaction I would have with people that they would take care of me. But after a while, you realize that you're taking away someone else's energy and money in order for them to take care of you. So people will constantly rely on just giving people energetic exchanges, despite how they feel about it. People will just sit there You know what I'm saying? And just do the whole buttering people up just to receive something from it. I don't play them games, man. Cause like I had did a video about older people flipping on me, man. And it was like, listen, I never stopped being the nice, humble person I was since I was a kid. More or less, more or less. I never stopped. But it was just funny, like when I was sitting there, you know what I mean, just being like straight up with a lot of people, and all of a sudden they were being nice to me too. They would be real nice to me. And after a while they realized I couldn't pay them back, and all of a sudden they flip on me. And I was like, listen, I never wanted you to pay for me in the first place. I just thought you were doing something out of the goodness of your heart. But people got mad when they couldn't pay me back, or I couldn't pay them back. They were like trying to do shit for me, and I was like, nah, I'm legit like just this broke humble kid. And they just stopped fucking with me. They was like, damn, he a broke humble kid. He legit a broke humble kid. I can't even fuck with him. They want to be around some people that was on some hustle shit, or they was on some ignorant shit. It'd be like that, bro. It'd be like that. Point being, you got to be careful, man. A lot of times, like, you can't act like money don't matter. It's the transaction. It's the fact that, there's nothing in this life is free, right? It's the transactions that matter, whether it be the energetic transactions. Just understanding that some people will sit there and pretend to do the fake humble shit like they ain't shit, but it's like, listen, we just talked about the notes, man. You got someone who's like fake humble, never, always broke, never had a job type shit. They're a great person. They're a great person, but at the same time, they have all the time in a day to apply themselves. They have all the time in a day to sacrifice a bit of themselves just to take care of some shit. There are dudes who are straight up entrepreneurs in the sense that they were drug dealers, in the sense that they never wanted to get a job. Does that make sense? For some people, it's going to make sense. Some people won't. Some people never want to work a job, so they'd rather drug deal and be entrepreneurs on the side or whatever, do that shit. And the thing is, they lose a bit of their humanity by serving them drugs. But at least they don't have to work for somebody else. They just getting to work on their own time. They flipping it on their own time. They go back to the plug, do what they got to do. And I get it. Oh shit. Yeah, the mic's still on. The mic's still on. I'm hearing noises though. Hold on, I gotta make sure shit ain't fucked up. So that's the thing that you got to be careful about is like there's degrees of stuff where like you can respect people who are getting to the bag and they're getting to the point of retirement. They're getting to the point of getting to this certain amount where they could really just chill out. They're getting to the certain amount where their family's set, if not set for life. I'm not even gonna sit here and judge how people get there, man. You come around my way to that bullshit, you're gonna have to deal with me. That's just one thing. Matter of fact, I'll leave you with this one, man. We kind of get all over the place, but I'll leave you with this one, man. I think it was Sugar Free. Sugar Free, he said something like, hey, man, no matter how hard you work in this life, there's always somebody working 2 times harder to take it from you, bro. So just be careful. That money, they say it's the root of all evil. It's really just a pursuit of it. Be careful of how you get it. Be careful of how you're trying to go about it. The pursuit of money is very evil. There's always a transaction for living, bro. Even if it wasn't this, it was bartering. But people will sit there and try to like up you on the barter too. Some people will be recognized like your whole country and your whole people's resources is a level of gold or ore that you guys own. Some form of iron, gold, silver. You guys probably have something that's very, like copper, a level of magnesium or whatever the fuck. Like I'm just saying, like there's a level of something that you guys own. You might even, be a society that lives near very clean spring water, and they'll sit there and barter with you, like, hey, you know what? See, even bartering can be dirty too, because they're like, hey, man, you know what? Hey, you want these bananas, bro? We need like this many gallons of water, and they'll just be raping the fucking land for water and minerals. People be fucking up with the set prices. They be trying to set the tone. They be trying to, change the market value for your things that are valuable in your area, and you don't even. It's so normal to you. You understand? Things that are so normal to you, they'll sit there and extract it and rape that value to get something. People always act like bartering was the way to go, and it's like, nah, people were sitting there trying to figure out how to hustle people with bartering. It's all transactional. Everything is all transactional. Just understand that. It's less about the money and the monetary value, because even though we're comparing currency rates between countries and shit like that, it was the same thing with bartering back then. People were sitting there jipping people. There were colonizers that pulled up on the fucking, was it Hispaniola, like Cuba and Puerto Rico and shit like that. And there was so, like, the women on that island, they wanted to get the iron, like the iron nails from the boats. So they would just fuck the guys or suck them off and then get the iron nails. And then it got to a point where the boats started collapsing. But it was something about the value of those iron nails, just getting multiple iron nails. They probably started setting the price like, yeah, if I give you head, that's one nail. If I give you some pussy, that's probably two nails. I'm just saying, like, this is some shit that was like kind of documented if not spoken about. People just sit there and get nails out the ball. There's some crazy shit. There's different forms of bartering. You know what I'm trying to say? That's what that is, really. People will sit there and place a value on shit, bro. You think pussy worth that much? You think pussy worth a nail? A nail in the coffin or a nail from a boat? Hey, check that out, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. That's what we're talking about. How important is money, man? That should be haunting me. I'm never gonna act like, I'm never acting like money's the most important thing in life. But I will say, like, I've been haunted by the fact that it has affected us a lot, bro. I don't know a lot of people that had them situations where their family was going through so much medical stuff. They got to pay off the medical shit. They could barely make ends meet here and there. They're forced to retire. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. And I'm over here just like a little kid going through it, wishing I can get a job, wishing I can get a job, make some money, and just take care of shit. You know? There it is, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. I'm out. Peace.